gentlemen, it's me, Gina, and I would just like to say welcome back to my kitchen. But in case this is the first time you're stopping by, my name is Gina, and I am a wife and mother from the Midwest, and I like to cook delicious fresh meals for my family, and sometimes I film the recipes and I post them here on YouTube. So today, I am like all in my feelings about fall being in its way. It was like semi-rainy and semi-chilly for 2 days here in Chicago, so I'm just gonna go with it. Fall is my favorite time of the year, so I decided I needed to make some delicious instant pot creamy mushroom wild rice soup, which I will come up with a better title for that. That sounds better. But in any case, this is one of my top 10 favorite fall winter dishes. It is creamy, it is vegetarian. There are vegan modifications. If you wanted me to provide those, I will put them in the description box below, ding ding. But this is just super hearty. It hits you right in that comfort food, macaroni and cheese, want to hug your grandma spot of the mouth. Like really delicious. And furthermore, this is made with milk. It fully tastes like there is heavy cream in there. You do not have to use whole milk like I'm using here. This is just what the girls drink, so that's what I have. But you could use whatever type of milk you want, 2% or whatever. So what's nice about it is because it's slow simmered in the Instant Pot, it gives you that mouthfeel of the heavy cream flavor that you so desire in winter and fall months, but it is a little bit lighter than the alternative. So I guess without further ado, let's jump into the recipe. The ingredients, we are going to be using 3 cloves of garlic, half of a white onion or a yellow onion, whatever color onion you want, but I don't know about red. I would probably not do red onion. We're going to be using some carrots that are chopped, some celery, a package of mushrooms, and these are the baby Bella mushrooms, and this is what I would recommend for this recipe because they have a meatier texture and they just lend really well to the soup by adding color to the broth, and also they hold up well because we are going to be pressure cooking this. We're going to need a little butter and flour and milk to thicken it up later. We're going to be using some vegetable broth to cook everything, but you could also use chicken stock or beef stock, whatever you prefer. And then our seasonings are pretty simple. We're just going to be using some poultry seasoning, some thyme, some pink sea salt, and I forgot the black pepper, which I will have to find in a moment because Mike got disorganized in there, guys. Anyways, so that's all we need. Let me go ahead and get set up and get the ingredients prepped, and I will be back as we add the things to the Instant Pot to show you how we make this super simple soup. Okay, so first things first is I have about a tablespoon of butter melted in the Instant Pot, and I have it on saute on high because we are going to just take a little bit of the edge off of our raw vegetables, and also cooking things in the Instant Pot on saute for a few minutes beforehand allows it to come to pressure faster because you're taking some of the chill off of your vegetables that are stored in the refrigerator. So mainly I want to take the edge off of the garlic and the onion because I just don't personally like the flavor of onion and garlic that have been cooked from a raw state in slow cookers or in the Instant Pot. I don't know, I'm just bizarre. So this is half of an onion diced, this is 3 ribs of celery, and this is about 5 small carrots, and they're just diced up to about this size, and I'm going to put you on pause while I dump those in. Okay, so I tossed them in there, and I added a little... One second. I added a generous pinch of salt and a sprinkle of black pepper to the pot. Always add salt to your pot when you are trying to sweat your vegetables because it helps to remove the moisture from them more quickly. So I'm just going to let this go until the onions are translucent, and then we will add in our garlic, which I forgot to mention is 3 cloves of garlic minced. And sorry this looks crusty, I am slicing up our mushrooms, so that's what that is. So I'll be back when we're ready to pop the rest of the stuff in. Well, alright, so I just wanted to pop back on and let you know that I did toss in our garlic. Our onions have started to crystallize or become translucent. They're not totally translucent yet, but that's fine. I just want to add the garlic in towards the end of the sauteing process because garlic does burn. So whenever you see a recipe, if that person says like, add your onions and your garlic and everything in the same time, like just start watching that video because that person does not know how to cook. Like onions and garlic have different cooking times, period. So I'm gonna let this go for another moment. I did finish chopping up all of our mushrooms, and they're about this thick. You could go thinner, you could go thicker, you could chop them in like an actual like dice if you prefer, but they do cook down quite a bit because this is pressure cooked, because we are cooking wild rice, which in case you have never cooked wild rice, it does take a very long time to cook. So if you were to cook this normal, this takes about 45 minutes boiling, and we're still going to do about 45 minutes in the pressure cooker, but that's because we want to make sure everything is really melded together, the flavors. So let me go ahead and give this a stir. This smells pretty good. Toss in our mushrooms. I'm going to add about 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, because I want about a teaspoon in here total, and I probably add about a pinch. My pinch was probably about a 1/4 teaspoon. And then I'm going to be adding 1/2 teaspoon of thyme and a whole teaspoon of a whole teaspoon of poultry seasoning, which just, if you are a vegetarian and you're making this, or a vegan and you're doing the modification, please be advised that there is no animal products in this. It's just cumin, rosemary, thyme, oregano, and sage. It is just a seasoning that is meant to season poultry. So I will be putting a whole teaspoon of this, and then probably, I don't know, maybe like another 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. And then I'm going to drizzle in the rest of this, and I will be back to show you what that looks like before we pop the lid on and start the timer. Alrighty, so all of the ingredients have hopped into the pool and are enjoying the party, except for Mama Gina over here is slightly disappointed because I didn't realize that this package was only 4 ounces of wild rice. Like, the bag inside was literally this big. So that's about 1/2 cup of wild rice, and we need about 1 cup for this recipe. So I thought about just leaving it with less rice, but that just didn't sound very good. So I actually ended up just tossing in, I have this regular brown rice. So I tossed in 1/2 cup of that as well. And we're just going to see how it goes, but I'm assuming it's going to be fine because brown rice and wild rice have similar cook times. And rice pilaf is good, like wild rice pilaf that has like brown rice and stuff in there. So we're winging it. I'm going to go ahead and put this here lid on and then seal our valve. And then we are going to put this on, let's see here. Soup. Oh, first you have to hit cancel. Here's another side note. So even though we weren't sauteing, like while I was adding everything, I left it on saute because it's just continuing to heat the liquid that is in here, which will again lend to it coming to pressure more quickly, which is helpful. Because that's always the worst about Instant Pot recipes. When you see it, you're like, oh, 5-minute boiled eggs. But it's like, girl, it took 10 minutes for it to come to pressure. It takes a long ass time. So anyways, we're going to hit cancel, and then we're going to put it on soup broth. And then I'm going to see, oh, I have it set to 45 minutes already. So we're going to let this come to pressure and cook for 45 minutes. And then we are going to do a quick release before we make our roux with our milk, flour, and butter and thicken it up. So see you guys when this is ready. Okie doke, friends. So our soup is done. At least I did the quick release on the Instant Pot. And then I actually popped it back on saute because we want to keep it nice and hot, because we're going to be adding the roux to this along with the, or I guess it's going to be a bechamel now because we're adding milk to it. But in any case, I have 6 tablespoons of butter melted here, which is 1/2 cup. And then I have 1/2 cup of regular all-purpose flour. And I can't find my regular whisk, so I have a stupid short whisk that belongs to my immersion blender. So this looks really thick, but it's fine because we're going to actually be simmering our milk with it until it thickens. A traditional roux just for thickening obviously is a little bit looser because you want to cook the flour flavor off, but we don't need to worry too much about that. So that's spread out enough. It's cooking away, and then we are going to slowly add in 1.5 cups of milk. So, you know what? I better actually take this down to, whoa, I don't even know how to do that. There we go. So first we're gonna just add in a little bit and then whisk it vigorously because we don't want any clumps in here. As you can see, it thickened up really, really tight. Sorry, this is like super hard to do with one hand, guys. And then I'm just gonna wing it for the rest. About a half of a cup. I'm gonna turn the heat down. There we go. Jeez, I'm making a mess. Alright guys, I'm going to put you on pause because I need to whisk this good and I need to hold the pan with the other hand. Alright, so this is what we are looking for. Basically a smooth consistency, like a thick frosting kind of. And then I'm going to have to go ahead and put you on pause again. I'm going to be dumping this directly into the Instant Pot and I will be back. I hope this is focusing for you guys. I'm going to get a new phone hopefully soon. But here we go. We are folding this in. We can get some more light on this situation. There we go. And here we go. Creamy, dreamy. Oh man, this smells really good. Looks like the brown rice cooked up just fine in there. So normally this would have more wild rice in it, obviously, because we do the full cup of wild rice, but I think this is going to be just fine. And then if this is a little bit thick for you, with because we're going to simmer it for another few minutes just to make sure that the flour taste is cooked off, you can add additional chicken stock, vegetable stock, water, milk, whatever you want to. What the heck are my children doing? Oh, hey guys, what you doing? Are you making a mess or are you scratching that? Yeah. Oh yeah, both? Okay. Sorry guys. So that is it. I'm just going to go ahead and simmer this for a few minutes like I had mentioned. Give my husband a call and let him know he can come home for dinner. And then go ahead and loosen it up to your liking. But this looks pretty good. If it gets a little bit thicker than this, I will definitely add up probably just a little bit of water because I used whole milk. And then I will taste it for salt and we're good to go. I will be back with the finished product and hopefully a taste test. Okay guys, this is our finished product. It is super creamy. This has been sitting for a minute, so it's got a little skin on it. Nice and thick, creamy and delicious. The girls even ate it, which was super surprising. And this is just really, really good. My husband is actually home today. Sorry, I can't get his whole face because Fifi's sitting behind me.
Pretty good.
It's good? Alrighty, my poor tired husband. Alright guys, so that's our video for Instant Pot Wild Rice Soup. If you liked this video, I'd appreciate it if you could hit the thumbs up button. And if you loved it, consider going ahead and subscribing. I'd really appreciate it if you could do that and check out some of my other content that I have on my channel. I have lots of different recipes for Instant Pot, authentic Mexican cooking, and other types of dishes. I will pop a couple of links somewhere here. But for now, thanks for stopping by my kitchen and have a great day. Oh my gosh, guys. This is a video of my children who just ate this mushroom soup. It is that good. Can you take another bite, Fifi? That they are eating cream of mushroom wild rice soup. I am like so excited right now. I can't even handle it. Is it good? You like it too? Oh my gosh. You guys, my children have not put a vegetable in their mouth in forever, so this is super exciting. It's probably the 6 tablespoons of butter that are in it, but in any case, they love it. I'll get you the real taste test once Dino comes home.